Okay, today we're going to do 11/4 similar triangle proportions. Okay, and so how these work, remember, if you have two similar shapes, we learned this a long time ago, you can set up a proportion in order to get a missing side. Okay, so if we have, let me see, if we have these two triangles, now it's a triangle within a triangle. If that confuses you, redraw the two triangles. Here's our big triangle. Here's our little triangle. Okay, if it confuses you that it's a triangle inside of a triangle, then redraw it. This little triangle right here, what we know is this is 20 and this is 13. The big triangle, like this, so this down here would be 21, and this up here would actually be x plus 20, or 20 plus x. Okay, so those would be your little triangle, your two triangles split up. Okay, so from there you can set up a proportion like we've done before. Okay, so if you have, let me use a red here. If you use this side and this side, okay, so 21 over 13 equals, then you go back to the first triangle, use the hypotenuse, x plus 20 over the hypotenuse of this one, which is 20. Okay, so then we have to cross multiply. So 20 times 21 gives us 420. So I'm going to write it up here. 420 equals, now we have to do 13 times x plus 20. So you have to do the distributive property, x plus 20, like this. So it's really going to be 13x plus whatever, 13 times 20, which is 260. Oops, ignore that little line. Okay, so now we have 420 equals 13x plus 260. So now you just solve for that x. So we have to subtract 260. Remember, our equations are never going away. So we have 420 minus 260, which is 160, equals 13x. So we're going to divide by 13. So divide both sides by 13. X equals 12.3. It's okay if it's a decimal. So x is 12.3. Okay. Coming over here, let me do this so we know. Whoop. Coming over to this one, we have to set it up again. So our little triangle right here is 91. Whoops. 91 over x. Okay, if we did the side over the length. Okay, this side over this side. Then we can also do 96 over, and then it would have to be this whole side. For the big triangle, it's that whole side. So 43 plus x. Okay, now, so we have two x's here, but don't panic, it's fine. Okay, now you could have set this up differently. You could have put x over 43 plus x. You know, you could have set it up differently, but what you start with, that's what you have to stay with. Okay, so then if we cross multiply, so 91 times 43 is 3,913 plus 91x equals 96x. Right here, because we did the distributive property there. So we subtract 91x. Okay, so 3,913 equals 5x, because 96 minus 91, divide by 5. So don't let those two x's stress you out. So 3,913 divided by 5 equals, and none of these triangles are drawn to scale, by the way, so just go with it. Okay, 782.6. Okay, so that's a pretty big little triangle there. Okay, next one. So now if it's like this, some think this is easier, some thinks it's harder. Okay, you won't have any like x plus anything, but it's kind of hard. You kind of got to think that this kind of flips around to look like that. So you can say the hypotenuse of the little figure over the side of the little figure equals the hypotenuse over the side. Okay? And then when we cross multiply, 5x equals 35 times 4, which is 140. Divide by 5. So 28. X equals 28. There you go. So with this one, you're not given the hypotenuse, but you're given the sides, or the legs. I shouldn't call them sides. So 60 over 25. The 2 on the straight line across will always line up if you get confused. So 60 on the top, so we need to have x on the top. Okay, so then cross multiply 60 times 15. Oops, I did 60 times 16. So 900, equals 25x. So that's going to be 36 equals x. Okay, so we're setting up a proportion and solving. So on this one, we're actually going to do an activity next week with this, but a man and his shadow make a similar triangle with a tree in its shadow. So if we have a man here, woo, he's happy because he's in math, and we have his shadow, and then we have a tree, woo, and its shadow. The man is 6 feet tall. Find the height of the tree. So this is what we're looking for. If the man is 6 feet tall and his shadow is 23 feet long, the length of the tree's shadow is 47 feet long. So we're assuming this is going to make it, we're assuming he's at a right angle with the ground. All trees aren't, but we're assuming this one is. Okay, so we want to know the height right here. So we have similar triangles. So you can do the height of the man over the height of the tree equals the shadow of the man over the shadow of the tree. And then we cross multiply. 47 times 6 gives us 282 equals 23x. So, and then we divide by 23. So x equals 21 point, we'll just say 26 feet. So the tree, which makes sense that the tree is going to be taller, okay, because this shadow is 23 feet and this one's 47 feet. Okay, so that's going to be taller. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We could have put 6 over 23 and then x over 47 would have come up with the same thing. Okay, and here's a little